Yeah, I know. Where the fuck have you been, you might be asking? Boy, do I have a story for you. Hi, hello, how's it going? If you still remember me, my name is Lou. Yeah, I know I was gone. I know. But in my defense, a lot has happened since we last spoke. Like a lot. You may realize that my background looks different than what it used to be. This is still a work in progress. I bought this, I bought this in Olinda. This is something that I made like a whole fucking time ago. And this is a sticker. The fact that my background looks different, and also I'm recording at the daytime for the first time in the history of this channel, is also part of why I fucked off the face of the earth for 6 months. 8 at this point. I'm still not good at math, if you're wondering.
Hello, this is Editing Lou. I am aware that I got my teeth dirty with lipstick. This is why I hate lip gloss. We're just gonna say, alright, and move the fuck on. There's nothing you can do about it now.
Let's start in March, which is when I last posted. I actually made like extensive notes on my phone. So the first thing that happened in March was I started dating. Which is completely unrelated to everything that happened right after. My boyfriend is great. We went to college together. He's a registered socialist. So my boyfriend is not the problem. If anything, he was the solution for a lot of these issues, but he's great. Beijo, moose. The problem really started happening by the end of March. Now I recognize was just an autistic meltdown. And, but we're gonna get there, because I'm gonna tell you a lot of things that happened. It was bad enough. So trigger warnings apply to this section. Trigger warning, unaliving. It was bad enough that I made a throwaway comment of wanting to, ir de comes e bebes, ir de arrasta pra cima, getulhar, unaliving myself in English, as you say, in front of my mom. And she was very concerned and did something that was, it's fucked up and really badly affected my mental health. Before I actually tell you guys what happened, and I feel like it's important to tell you guys exactly what happened because this might help other people who might be facing similar situations, I just want to say that I love my mom, and my mom is not abusive, and my mom would never do anything to deliberately harm me or to deliberately make me feel bad. She would never do that. My mom is a great person, but my mom is still a person, which means that my mom is still a failable person. My mom still has flaws, and I have to be very accepting of them. Because we're all trying to get better in this life. So I want to preface this with a disclaimer by saying that I have since talked to my mom about this, and we have had a very long conversation that was years in the making, and we're really good now, and she really understood where she went wrong, and she really understood where she crossed the boundaries that I had set. So this is something that I want to preface before I actually tell you what she did. So what happened was that when I made that comment to my mom, she actually got in contact with my therapist and told my therapist that this was something that was happening. My therapist is great, so she really held the boundary, and she was like, thank you for telling me. I will discuss that with Louisa when she wants to. But that made me spiral even harder because what my mom said was that she didn't trust me to be able to lead my own psychological treatment to the point where I would actively tell my therapist if I was experiencing suicidal ideation. So what she said is that she didn't think that I was going to tell my therapist that this has happened because she knew that I was going to be ashamed of it because I have experience before and I was ashamed of it. And she took the initiative to actually telling my therapist that. She did not think that I was in actual danger of harming myself, but she was scared and she was concerned. And so I'm not saying this to put my mom on blast. I'm not saying this so everyone can say, oh, your mom sucks. That's really not it. And I would really appreciate you guys not to make comments about my mom. It's just that sometimes even people who actually love you and who want the best for you are people who will take steps that will harm you and violate some of your boundaries. And you have to stay strong in your boundaries. And so my mom and I have had a very long conversation where I was able to tell my mom, like, hey, listen, I am in charge of my psychological treatment. I am in charge of my mental health. If I need help, I am going to communicate that with you. But what I want to make clear is that you should never contact my therapist until I make it okay for you to do so. Wait a second. I got a package. Anyway, I got a package, and also my roommate arrived. I have a roommate now. It's all gonna make sense. But before we get to my roommate, we actually have a lot of stuff to get through. So where was I? After that, and after I set those boundaries, my mom and I had, like I said, a very difficult conversation that was years in the making, really, and was very emotionally draining. But it was good that we had that. Like I think we finally managed to evolve from a mother-teenage-daughter relationship to an adult mother and an adult-daughter relationship, which was incredibly important for me, to be quite honest. But since I had already made that video saying that, I was going to take things slow because I was struggling a little bit mentally, I was like, no, it's fine. I can, take a month and then come back. It's going to be okay. So I was like, I'm going to take a while, just chill in my mental health. But then I had the worst fucking month of my life. You guys have absolutely no idea how it was just so bad. So listen to this. First things first, late April, I crashed a car. It was a very silly accident, stupid accident, but the front of my mom's car was completely wrecked. So my mom was out of a car. She uses that car to work. She had to use my car for work. I was struggling to get around town because I live very far away from where I do most of my stuff. And so it was very difficult to not have a car because the public transportation in my city sucks. So that happened late April. A week later, I was going to my boyfriend's birthday party and I fell in a manhole. Like, it was open in the middle of the sidewalk. I fell right into it. A random guy in the street just plucked me by my armpits, pulled me out of the manhole, looked at me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I took 5 steps and passed out because of the pain. So that was bad. And then I got my credit card cloned and people were trying to, break into my accounts and all sorts of weird stuff were happening. And I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going to the temple. I'm getting blessed. This is ridiculous. I can't stand this anymore. So I went to the temple. Remember, I crashed my mom's car. My mom's car wasn't like the place to fix it. And we only had my car. Like me, my mom, and my dad, we only had one car to go around. So I took my car and went to the temple. When I was getting to the temple, about a week after the manhole, the battery of my car died. And I had to do like this whole bunch of stuff to get my car to start again and for me to be able to get to the temple. And when I got there, one of the ladies at the temple was like, listen, when you are in a situation where you need our help in the temple, but everything sort of starts to go wrong in order for you to get here, that's because whatever it is that is leeching the energy off of you actually doesn't want you to get help. So it's important for you to make an effort to get here, even though you might be experiencing difficulties for your own sake. And I was like, okay, good. Keep that information because that's going to be very relevant. And so she gave me the blessings and she said, in 3 weeks' time, you have to come back and you have to get blessed again, just so we can make sure that whatever's leeching off of you is not, is gone for real. And I was like, okay. So in the next 3 weeks, a lot of stuff continued to go wrong. I don't know where the fuck my money went. Like a lot of stuff just continuously, like I got delays in payment. A lot of stuff that shouldn't have gone wrong went wrong. So, but I was like, it's okay. I'm getting cleansed. It's still working. It's fine. So it had the day where I had to go back to the temple for the second part of the cleanse. And when I got there, I was getting there. I was on my way there. And then a driver with no license, with a car that was not his own car, was a borrowed car from out of town, ran a stoplight and hit me on the driver's side. And he didn't, like, his car had nothing going on for it. My car, I had to change 2 doors of my car. The window crashed so hard, like all of the glass fell on me. And when I took my car to the shop, the guy in the shop was like, "Oh, and you didn't get anything?" And I was like, "No, I was fine." And he was like, "Well, I saw a guy who lost an eye from that. So if he had been a little bit faster," because he was looking, what happened was he was looking at the phone, at the map, and he didn't pay attention to the stop sign, and he ran into me. But if he had been a little faster, I'm not sure that I would be recording this video today. I'm not exactly sure what would have happened to me, but I don't think that I would be here just all fun and games recording videos. So it was a near-death experience, and I was going to the temple. So whatever it was leeching off of me during that month really was not having it. But I did go back to the temple after. And when I got to the temple after, the guides were like, I was like, so I crashed another car, and they were like, was it at a crossroads? And I was, yeah, it was in an intersection. And they were like, and were you injured? And I was like, no, I was fine. And he was like, but you were supposed to get injured. And I was like, yeah, I was supposed to get injured. And he was like, yeah, the ones who protect you told me that they were looking out for you. And I was like, I am going to start having to pay overtime for whoever it is looking out for me. Because this last month, this poor soul worked its ass off trying to make me stay still alive. So, yeah, whoever it is that was looking out for me, you're the real MVP, for real. She also said that I should join the temple in order to make sure that whatever was leeching off of me was no longer leeching off of me. And I was like, okay, that's fair. And I went and joined the temple, actually. So the process of joining the temple and my religion in itself is a long topic that I really don't want to cover in this video. So this is another video that I'm going to make based off of a series of book reviews that I still want to make. And so, yeah, that's something. But, you know, suffice to say, it's very good. It's been very good to me. It's been giving me a lot of peace, and it's been very therapeutic for me. So after that, things started to get a lot better, mostly because after I crashed the second car in the span of a month, I was like, I don't want to drive anymore. I hate this. And I decided that I wasn't going to have a car, but I lived with my mom too far away from everything where I needed. And I've mentioned that we have really bad public transportation in my city. So I moved out. So I'm living on my own now. This is my own apartment. I have a roommate. She's great. Isla, beijo, chum. But that was fun. And so I moved out, and that was late June. And so you can see a lot of stuff happened in the meantime that really made it difficult for me to focus on reading and producing content. And then when I moved, I started noticing some strange stuff about myself. Like the texture of the floors of my new apartment were very grating on me. The fact that I hate white paper, and the texture of white paper feels shit on my hands, and sometimes it makes me want to crawl into a hole and die. The fact that I like to organize stuff by sizes, and the fact that whenever I'm talking to people, I'm constantly running almost like a script in my head of the social interactions that I'm supposed to have. And I found out that that is called masking, and that happens when you're autistic. Who would have thought? I was actually looking to old Tumblr posts of mine after the whole Twitter showdown, and when I looked at some posts, and it was no one thought to have this girl evaluated for autism. No one thought this wasn't even a possibility. Anyway, it's like, it's been so obvious. What neurotypical person just has so much knowledge about witches? No neurotypical person has that. That's totally a special interest of mine. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that it took me 26 years to find out I'm autistic. So after I found that out, and after I got formally diagnosed, I changed my medication, which has been helping a lot. I also changed my ADHD medication, which has helped a lot, and things started to get a lot better. And then I didn't make any new content because I was too busy. I'm back to doing most of my stuff in person. So I'm back to college in person, teaching in person. I'm teaching this semester. I'm working as a TA, and it's been really good. I traveled a lot as well. So I went to Recife and I vlogged that. It's been hell trying to edit that. And so it's taking me more time than I thought. And it's probably going to be split in two parts. I went to Rio de Janeiro, and I vlogged that a little, but I'm still deciding if I'm going to edit that and actually post it. And then I went to São Paulo, and I didn't vlog that because I was too fucking tired. So I'm still working from home though, and I'll probably continue to work from home for the foreseeable future. But I'm doing like my stuff. I have my routine. I go to the gym 5 times a week. I have all the things that I want and the places that I want. And it's been very good for me mentally to move into my own space. And I'm very happy with my life and where it's been, despite the whole mess that happened this year. But as you guys can see, it wasn't that I didn't want to post. It's just that there was a series of things happening, and then every day there was something new. And then every month I was like, no, this month I'm going back to YouTube. And then something else just happened. In the last part of the year, it was just good stuff. But now that I'm finally settled and my life is good and everything is back to normal-ish, that means I can come back to YouTube. So this is how it's going to work out. I am planning 2 videos a month, but I will make an effort to post at least once a week. So my commitment is 2 videos a month, just so I can have some consistency, but I am going to make a huge effort to put more videos out. Not making any promises on that, just the 2 videos a month. I'm still interested in making videos that discuss specific topics and making research for specific videos. I really like doing that. But I'm going to focus more on quality of what I'm reading rather than the quantity. I read really fast, and I feel like when I'm reading really fast just to get numbers up, I don't enjoy the book as much, and I'm not able to absorb as much as I wanted from the book. So it's been this is me trying to really scale back on the amount of books that I read and read stuff that will really make me want to talk about it. That doesn't mean that my hate reviews will stop. Rachel is my best friend. She will never let me stop doing that. So the hate reviews are here to stay. But I'm going to focus on books that I feel that will give me more to talk about rather than just reading a bunch of books and making wrap-ups and stuff. I'm not even sure how the booktube community is doing nowadays. It's just like, I'm not even sure what people are doing. I'm just like, once again, decided and committed to do my own stuff. So I really want to make this channel help me not only with my PhD, but also to do something that I've always wanted to do, which is to become an educational tool. So I really want to share knowledge that I've gained with you guys, and make sure that the knowledge that I have access to can be made more accessible. So these are the goals for the channel in this year that starts in the remaining of 2022. I want to make knowledge accessible. I want to have discussions about specific themes, and I want to read books that I feel really speak to me rather than reading a ton of books that are just several iterations of the same fairy dick porn. I've had it with that, I suppose. So for this reason, I'm very happy to announce that I have a Patreon now. So you can check the link of my Patreon in the description below. And depending on the tiers that you subscribe to, you can actually pick the theme that I'm going to talk in the month. And you can also pick the book that I'm reading for the month. And you can also pick the book that I'm hate reading for the month. So you can either help me with my goal of attaining knowledge and making knowledge accessible, but you can also put me into severe pain. And I know that you guys enjoy doing that for me. So here's an option. Also, if you think that any of my videos has helped you, or if you think that my videos have helped you in some way, my Ko-fi is also in the description below. If you want to join Patreon and get a ton of perks like access to my digital library, translated works, voting on my next video, exclusive Discord, you can also check that. And if you think that one of my videos has helped you in some way and you really would like to buy me a coffee, you can do that on Ko-fi. Yeah, I'm excited now. I have my own space. I have my own time to get through stuff. And I'm very excited to honestly try to come back. So yeah, this was an update. I'm alive. I'm living. It's okay. I'm good. You guys are fine. Okay? Okay. So yeah, this was today's video. So thank you so much for sticking out with me during my hiatus. Impromptu, I really didn't want to, but I hit 2K in the meantime, which is amazing. So thank you guys for sticking out with me, and thank you guys so much for all the support all the time. I hope I can make it worthwhile for you guys. And yeah, I will see you guys hopefully in 2 weeks time. So yeah, bye.